everyone, and welcome back to another episode of DIY or Buy. So for this project, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a double-sided fleece throw blanket. I was originally going to have someone come in and help me, but plans changed, so that's alright, we're just going to roll with it. So obviously the very first step before you do anything is you're going to want to go to your local arts and crafts store and pick out some fabric. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it is very easy for me to get distracted in an arts and crafts store. But you're going to want to go find the fabric section and look for 2 different styles of fleece that you would like to cut up and use for your blanket. Now, I've decided I'm making this blanket for a friend of mine who lives in Pennsylvania, and it is freezing over there, so I figured this would be the perfect Christmas present. Ooh, okay. Hold this, please.
Maybe we should
I found it.
made another blanket you could take to school.
No, that's just Gryffindor. Just kidding. My friend is a huge Harry Potter fan, but Gryffindor is not his house, so I'm actually going to look for something a little more inclusive. Now, I found 2 that were general Harry Potter themed, but I decided to go with the one that showed all 4 houses. And since my friend is from the Hufflepuff house, I decided to pair this half of the blanket with a bright yellow. Now, a good standard size for a fleece would be 2 yards of each. I'm 5'9", and it's just a little too short for me, and my friend's even taller than I am, so I went ahead and did 2.5 yards of each. Just a heads up, licensed printed material is very expensive, so go when there's a good sale. Now that we've got our materials, here's a few other things you're going to need for this project. A ruler, some knitting needles or a pencil works just fine, safety pins, large ones and lots, a Sharpie, scissors, and a scrap piece of cardboard cut into a 4-inch square. Forgive my small workspace, but the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out which part of the blanket goes on the outside, and that part is going to be face down. This is a lot easier if you have a large space of carpet or hardwood floor that's pretty clean. I'm trying to get it as flat as I can on my futon. Then we're going to take our second half of the blanket with the outer design facing up. Once you've got them flat and matching, you'll notice, especially on the licensed blanket, that there's this big white strip that just doesn't belong, so go ahead and take your scissors and trim that off. These are the ones you're going to want to use. Now we're going to take our safety pins and pin it around these purple lines that I have diagrammed, maybe a good 4 inches in, just to keep the fabric from slipping and rearranging itself. Now you're going to bring in your scissors and that 4-inch piece of cardboard, and you're going to lay this exactly on the 4 corners of our blanket, and we're just going to cut those squares right out. Then you're going to take your ruler and we're going to cut about 1-inch tassels or strips literally along all 4 edges, all around the border. So get ready to cut a lot of strips. Once you've got all the tabs, strips, tassels, whatever, all chopped up, there's actually 2 different ways that you can tie this blanket together. One is literally tie it. You can take those and double knot it, or you can do this cute little flip design that I think looks a lot cuter, in my opinion. I wasn't super crazy about trying to make each one of these exactly 1 inch or 1/2 inch wide, so I used my thumb as a general measuring tool, and it really doesn't matter if they're the same size, because once you tie them all together and throw that blanket around, no one's gonna tell. The first step for this tassel tying is you're gonna flip them up, so you see the little yellow underbelly, And right here at the crease, we're going to take our scissors and cut a small, and I mean small, little slit. Then you're going to take the tail and literally we're going to push it right through that small little slit as gently as you can. Grab onto the little corner and pull all the way through and tighten. Super easy, right? I've made dozens of these blankets before, so I'm used to it. But if that little twist and tie was a little too hard for you, here's where those knitting needles or a pen or a pencil comes in handy. You're just going to use it to help you coax it through the hole and pull tight. Now you're going to do that about a dozen more times. Seriously, dozens and dozens of more times, all around the whole blanket. So practice patience. Once you finish the section and you realize that maybe the fabric isn't quite matching up or you missed that white strip like I clearly did, you can take your scissors and go in and trim off the excess. My preferred method is to go ahead and flip all these tabs up and make the little slit, then go back and tie each one of them. Once you've tied them all, trimmed all the tails, that is literally the last step, and you are finished. Check it out, you made a blanket! And all without a sewing machine, I might add. One of the most satisfying craft projects I've ever done, so I'm definitely giving it a DIY. Yes, well, as much as I love this blanket and as much as I would love to keep it, I actually made it for a friend, so I should probably wash it before I deliver it and not get too attached. Maybe I'll just keep it. Seriously, the comfiest blankets ever, and there's just some satisfaction that goes with knowing that you made it yourself. Alright, well that's it for this video. Consider giving it a like if you liked the content. Let me know what else you guys would want me to tackle next time. Good night!